This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by the North Law Firm. For car accidents and negligent security cases, call Joe at 239-337-1191. By Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers, where you can report crimes and get paid with nobody knowing your identity. Call 1-800-780-TIPS. By Solomon's Air Conditioning Incorporated. No matter what the weather condition is outside, have it your way inside. 239-693-1569. And by Lee Health.
Southwest Florida, welcome to another edition of Lee Pitts Live, and I'm so glad you put us on your list of things to do, and I know you're going to be happy as well. You know that Lee Pitts Live tries to get in the community and capture the stories before they unfold, because we cover what's important. What's important today is the Community Press newspaper. I've said it here and I've said it again, my favorite newspaper in the world. I read it every month, and I'm so thrilled to be here at their new physical location on Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard, right there in the Veronica Shoemaker Plaza. You can come in here now and actually see that fine staff that you've been seeing in the newspaper for the past 5 years. When we come back, it's the Community Press newspaper for the entire show, Lee Pitts Live, this Sunday morning on Fox 4. We'll be right back. We're back to Lee Pitts Live. Thanks for staying with us here on Fox 4, my favorite newspaper. Of course, the Community Press, been around 5 years now. Historic time for a fabulous newspaper that has covered it from gavel to gavel. We are physically here on location for the entire show. Let's get a chance to meet some members of the Community Press staff. Let's start off with you, Bodie.
All right.
Got a real name, Ernest Bodie. The reason I want to start off with you because I don't get you on TV every day. And every time I've done a show on the Community Press, that name, Bodie, comes up. And then when I look in the back of the paper at the staff and everybody, I see your name, and now I put the name with the face.
All right.
Bodie, what's your responsibility with the Community Press?
Well, my responsibility as distribution manager, when they go to the press, my job is to go pick it up from the press, and I have about 100 locations, which I'm responsible for getting the papers to, not only in Lee County, but Naples, Collier County. I have Lehigh Acres and Cape Coral. And whatever others that we might, have extras over, I would leave them there to one that don't have ads or whatever in the paper. Uh-huh. Because people are real hungry and thirsty for these papers. Because every month, if we're late, they want to know what happened, why we're late with them, because they want to see something positive. They're tired of all the negativity, so when we have positive stuff in these papers, and people are hungry to see them, then they want to see the self in there. Like sometimes they have articles or ads in there, pictures, and they're anxious to see those. So my responsibility is to get them out to the public as quickly as I can, and I try to be prompt to get everybody. And you
do a great job.
Yes.
Ernest Bodie McMillan.
That's right.
Hey, Ernest, I'm gonna come back to you, but I want to get this in. I just look forward to getting my paper all the time. So tell us some of the responses you get from people when you bring the paper, or when they're waiting for their paper and they get their hands on it. Tell us some of that positive feedback you get.
Well, when they know they're going to be in there, like I say, around in Easter, like we have the Easter parade, and they know that, well, maybe Jack or whoever's taking pictures of the parade, they know they're going to be in there, and they look forward for that, people. And Easter, like holidays and things, when they have, or even like graduation time coming up, they look forward. Just something to be proud of that they can show. And then sometimes I think I have it to that page where their pictures are, so they can see it when I bring it to them, and they light up like a Christmas tree.
I love it,
and
man.
that just warms my heart.
You're like the mailman bringing that check.
Right.
You know how we been looking forward to that check, Veronica and Mr. Middlebrook?
Exactly. When that check comes
I'll be back to you, bro.
And they look forward to it, and they see the reaction, and it just melts, man. I mean, it's priceless.
Veronica, I'm watching you and Mr. Middlebrook listening to Bodie. People know him as Bodie, but Ernest McMillan. You guys got those big smiles on your face, like you just love Bodie. Tell us about Bodie first.
Yes. I don't think that the paper would be as successful as it is without Bodie. He said earlier that when the hard work is done, then he goes out to distribute the paper. But really, Bodie is the face of the paper, and we really treasure what he does, because when he first started, he had a list to go by. But he's so personable and people like him, and he's so committed to what he's doing. He will come back each month with new places to take the paper. So our distribution list grew because of Bodie. So he is so valuable to
Shout out to
what we
Bodie.
do.
Let's go to you as the managing editor. How would you describe your job?
Well, my job is to work with Pablo to help put the paper together. I do a lot of the research for stories and articles and to recruit writers and things like that. And we work together to figure out what goes where.
So tell us about the process of getting it so the viewing audience also who wants to be a part of the paper, whether it be for advertising or to be featured in the paper. Tell us about the process as the month started, like they need to get information to you by when, and then you guys start editing things down. Just kind of walk us through behind the scenes, exclusive.
Well, our deadlines for articles is the last Friday before the next edition. So we're asking people who have articles that they would like to submit to get them in by then. But by that time, the paper is pretty much put together. So we're asking, if you have something that you would like to run in the paper, get it to us as early as possible to secure your space, especially for advertisers. We've been very successful in our advertising, not successful, blessed in our advertising and getting the community involved. I would just like to say one of the things that excites me about the community press is when we sat down and talked about this paper, part of the passion was to share the good news of what's happening in Dunbar. Prior to our paper 5 years ago, all you heard about were the negatives in the community. But once this paper was produced, you saw all of the wonderful things that always existed in the community. So that was the passion behind what we wanted to do. We didn't do a whole lot of, and we still don't do a whole lot of the negatives in the paper because the other medias are doing that. But one thing that I've noticed is more of the other medias are now covering some of the things that we're covering because they now realize that there's more to Dunbar than the negative. So that was one of the passions behind the paper. And we pretty much stuck to that. And I think that we've been very successful in doing that.
Well, I'm very proud of that positive information that's in the paper. I always look forward to reading it. And I keep up the good work. I'll be back to you as well. Mr. Middlebrooks, for the first time I get to you last. I know you like that because you like to show that teamwork and that everybody's equal. That's one of the things that you've always emphasized to me, the teamwork of the staff. Talk about that, the culture of the community press.
And we have about 6 people that is involved with the community press. And each one has a duty that they have chosen to work with us. And when we pull all those things together, then it makes a good whole paper. And when it goes out, like Bodie just mentioned earlier, people be waiting for this paper. And if Bodie or myself or Jackie or any of us late for that, they call us, well, we haven't seen your paper yet. I say, my goodness, baby, it's just been out about 2 hours now. But Bodie, if it wasn't for Bodie, I tell you, we'd be in trouble. I told Bodie one time we had to do, Pablo and myself had to put the paper out. And I said, Bodie, if you don't be here the next time, I'm going to break your right leg. Because he goes all over Lee County, the Cape, Lehigh Acres, down in Naples. They be waiting for this paper.
Now, we're physically here in a physical location now. We just knew the community press was somewhere in the past, maybe in your, Pablo used to always tell me he's in the man cave somewhere. But now we see the signage on the door, on the building here. What does that do for the paper to have a physical location in the heart of the community?
Now people can come to the office, and when they pass in, I had a statistical analysis done on the traffic that goes by Martin Luther King. Every day there's 40,000 people pass this office. So now I'm just going to say just 1/10 of that. If we can get those in, the advertisement will go up, the pay will go, because none of us get paid.
That's right.
So we all have this at heart.
People need to know you're a non-profit, right? Something like that?
Yes, we are.
Right.
So
Go
if
ahead.
you want to donate money to us to make this better, you can, Mr. Benson. But I'm just saying, I've had a paper before, which called the People's Press.
Right.
I remember at Riverdale, Suburban Reporter had a paper when I was principal at Riverdale. I said to the Suburban Reporter, give me 1 page per week, and I'll make sure your subscription will increase at least by 10%. It increased by 67%. So people be listening and looking out. People love to see themselves in the paper. So that's why we try to make sure during Father's Day, Mother Day, graduation, because it's all coming out the next issue. This coming Thursday, people are waiting for this coming Thursday because of the environment that we had earlier. Pandemic that we had earlier had limited us to just go to the website. Now, when we go to the website, our Jackie makes sure things is on the website, and she'll say to you the week before the paper's supposed to be out, Jackie puts on there, don't forget, this Friday is the deadline for. If it wasn't for each one of us have a duty to do, and we make sure we keep on it all the time.
Give that website, Veronica, and their phone number.
The Community Press, FLA.org.
Okay. Phone number 332-1073. That's 239 for people who are outside the area. The television show airs in 7 counties. Speaking of 7 counties, the Community Press is not just in Fort Myers, Dunbar, Community, Bodie. You mentioned it, but you're in 3 to 4 counties, right?
Well, I'm in Naples, in Lehigh, Cape Coral. I think we have one in Punta Gorda.
So we're a regional paper. Yeah, people who are looking, no matter where they are, who can see this show and they want to reach the market, they can advertise in the show and they can advertise in the paper and they can be in the paper. That's the point I want to make.
Yeah, we have the locations also in there where they can find them. The stores, the businesses, the churches. They on the inside of the
right. I've seen that. Go ahead. But they're in churches, stores, beauty salons,
liquor stores, everywhere.
Funeral parlors. Anything I'm missing?
And I can just
rec centers and so on.
See something, I just put them in there.
There you go. And when you come back, they're gone.
Yeah, CVS, pharmacy, racetrack.
How has the people who house the paper, where you leave the paper, Veronica, how has that partnership been? They look forward to partnering with you on that as well.
They not only look forward to it, they will call Pablo and say, we're out of papers.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll call Mr. Middlebrooks and say, we need more papers. So it's being received very well. We're very proud of how the community has embraced the paper.
When the paper first started, I think I saw the first issue, Mr. Middlebrooks. I think that was the first issue you handed to me when we were at the church over there. Yeah. Right. You don't know. I remember all of that. You handed it to me. I was sitting there. It was ML King weekend. I was glancing through. I said, this is really nice. And it was in color. Okay. So that time it was, I don't know if it was 15 pages or so. Tell people how the paper has grown since then.
Well, we've grown from 15, 16 pages to we're averaging 40, 42 pages now.
Just like that.
Just like
what
that.
Has technology done? I know you both were newspaper people in the past, Pablo and Jackie. You guys all were newspaper involved in the past. What has technology done in terms of the ability to produce a paper, get it out to market quickly, and so on and so forth?
Well, technology is, I think, is the gift behind it all, especially when it comes to Pablo. I mean, he is such a magician when it comes, and he's always looking to advance himself. I'm sure you've noticed some of the front pages in the last few months that are just so amazing and creative. And so that's all a part of the technology. Just speaking about what he does with technology. We send all of this information to him, but he's really the one that's burning the night oil and using that creativity to
baby.
put that is his
He puts
thing.
it together like a quilt, just
Yes.
all the
Yes.
beautiful pieces of a quilt.
Yes. I mean, he's looking at everything from colors. I mean, the things that we don't think about when we look at the paper and we go, wow, that looks good. But behind the scenes, he's actually methodically looking at putting colors together and putting different things together. So technology plays a really big part of that.
Pablo always want to be behind the scene. Hopefully he'll come.
He is. He's a very quiet person. He's
Yeah.
a silent warrior.
Right, and we go way back.
Yes.
Ms. Middlebrooks, you could hear that passion in Veronica's voice when she was talking about the paper and how it's put together. Tell us about that process each month, what you guys are thinking about. How do you determine what makes it into the paper? Because everything can't make it into the paper.
Exactly.
But so kind of take us behind the scenes about that.
We always, like Veronica said, that we are looking for the best stories. The best stories that will increase your ability to make it even better. We like to make sure, especially young people, we want them to be sure they have an uplifting activity that's going on with them, so they can also even go further. And we have people like, yes.
Go ahead.
We have
I'm just getting it on camera.
Yes, sir. We have people like Jackie who take pictures, and sometimes when she sends a picture, oh my goodness,
Yes.
that makes an excellent article.
Mhm.
Or we have a young lady like my granddaughter who has graduated from high school with an AS degree, and now she's a junior at Florida Gulf Coast. We are looking for students like that, especially academic students who want to do something in their life. And we have no issues with athletic people, because if you're gifted athletically, you will automatically get your due there.
Mhm.
So we're looking for kids who not necessarily on
Right.
top of it, and we try to make sure we encourage them to do even better.
And that's one of the things, too, that I love about the Community Press newspaper. Amongst the many things I love about the Community Press newspaper, that people who normally wouldn't get that recognition that they're supposed to get, you guys find them and highlight them. When you look in there, you'll see Women's Day. I think it was Women's Day. You have all these women all the way through the paper. Or we have historic events that happen, whether it's a new chief of the fire department or what have you, they get the front page. All these types of people that the general population, the mainstream media, which we don't care about, they don't think about that. Veronica, speak to that, recognizing people who wouldn't normally even get in the newspaper.
Well, it's like I said earlier, there's a lot of positive things going on in our community, some really awesome people doing some awesome things, and like you said earlier, would normally not get the recognition. That's one of the passions behind the paper. And not only our young people, but our seniors. A lot of our seniors are not looking at the news or reading the paper, which basically you can do online now. But there's a lot of information out there that's important to our seniors. It's important that we produce health information so they can know what's available and things that they can do to be healthy. So the passion is to just provide the community with information that they can use and to highlight people who otherwise would not be highlighted.
You guys even made Lee Pitts Live famous. Lee Pitts Live is in there. I'm famous now since I'm in the community. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're family now.
Let's go, before I leave and you go to Bodie. Bodie, get ready. Talk about the different departments in the paper, compartments. I think you have like around town and some different sections in the paper.
Well, we have around the town,
which is
usually a double truck that consists of events that are happening around the community. If they're large events, we will spread them across 2 pages and highlight them. That's where Jackie comes in. Jackie is around the town.
Jackie will be, I guess, after this commercial break, even though she doesn't want to come on. Go ahead.
I can understand that.
Exactly, like to be behind the scenes, but go ahead. Around the town.
Yes, she is always around the town.
Okay. Visual editor, visual photographer or something.
Yes, yes. She's another one that is so important to what we
Greek
do.
section, I think it is. The churches. Go ahead.
Well, you know them all. Yeah, we have the church
trying to get you to
section.
talk.
We have the around the town. We have a historical section. We have the health section.
That's right.
We have information about happenings in the school system. We feature a lot of Lee
lawyers,
Memorial. There's a
information,
legal section, yes,
Okay, I got
and then
you
we
too.
have writers who contribute on a regular basis.
There you go. Bodie, we talked about Jackie and the pictures, but the pictures in general, I think, are the highlight of the paper. Heavy emphasis on pictures. People get to see themselves and get to see all the different things happening in the community. Do you get that kind of response too when you're delivering, you're talking to people, they love all those beautiful pictures we see?
Especially wedding pictures. That's the biggest. And weddings and reunions, but the biggest are weddings, because I know the reaction. Like I say, when I take them, I know they're in there. I would turn to that page, because I can't remember what page it was on. Like it's on page 31. I would turn to 31 when I get to that person. And when I put it on the counter or whatever, they just light up a Christmas tree. But then another thing, it's important that they get these ads in, don't wait till the last minute, because sometimes they think they're going to be in there, but they wait, because probably will have a deadline to get them to the press. Mm-hmm. And then if they wait like a day and then they're going already, then they get the paper and they say, well, why I'm not in here? Well, we waited too late. But we'll try to have it in the next edition. And then they will say, well, okay, well, we'll wait for that. But I even took a job at the Breed that print these papers to make sure that I could keep an eye on them. Because sometimes I would go pick them up, they would be late when I get there. I called Jim and say, Jim, and the paper's not ready. And then to find out they were short of help. So I said, well, you need help? So I got the job at Breed to keep an eye on, see that they get on time.
See, that's the kind of stuff right there that says that you have to be hands-on with your product, stay in front of it. Now I see why everybody talks about Ernest McMillian Bodie so much. You got you a job there, huh?
Well, I got a helper now. We like we say, things we got more and more drop-offs and things. So, but it's good.
Mr. Middlebrooks, for history's sake, sitting here at the roughly the 5-year anniversary, started in 2015, this interview here will live in history. People will be able to go and look at it years from now and remember the beginning of the community press, which is a spinoff from the original paper that you had. For history's sake, if people are looking at this now, this interview, 15 years from now, and the community press will be so big and it'll be all over the place still, what do you hope that they take away from this experience of putting together such a fine newspaper?
I'm hoping that this newspaper become national. I'm hoping that because I enjoy math and I enjoy helping people out with SATs and ACTs and GEDs and those kind of things, that someone in not only this community but in other communities, we're trying our very best to get Punta Gorda. I didn't realize Punta Gorda only has about 6 streets where blacks live in Punta Gorda, but they have a city councilman who is a young man.
Jaha.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Mm-hmm. So
we're trying to get them also to be a part of the community.
That would be a great connection.
Yes, it would be.
And his
we
mom,
will
Martha.
eventually wear them out. So yes, but I love helping people out, and I enjoy doing the things that we're doing. And because of the dedication of Bodie and Jackie and Pablo and Veronica, we make sure this paper is out in time. We also have to sometimes suffer to pay for the paper out of our pocket to make, yes. So we need advertisement right away to help us get this out to the community.
Well, let's stay focused on that business part. I want to get 2 things in. Then I'll get another question here. Then I'll go to Jackie. Let's stay on the business part because I can relate to that. Tell people what. First of all, advertisement. What do they need to do? How do they get in touch? What type of advertisements? And that you are not just for black people.
Yes. See, election is coming up.
There you go.
We will have 2 people in the paper for this coming issue that who trying to become. One is trying to become the city mayor of Fort Myers.
That'll be Jackie
McMillan.
Yep.
Yes, and then another one is running for school board. So we have all those kind of things that we're looking. But most important to
Events and things of that nature.
yes, I want to emphasize. I'm in education, and I will emphasize education all my life. I also like building homes, and I like people to be in their own home all the time. So my vision for this whole thing is to make sure every black in Lee County and Collier County and up in Point Augusta get the information that they need to be successful.
But that is our news. When we read that paper, we know it's focused on us and some things happening with us. And there are a lot of people who want to reach us. They can reach us through the community press.
Exactly.
No matter what you are, who you are. You want the black vote, you want the this, you could be white, Hispanic, whatever. You want the black people to know about you, you need to be in that community press. A little paper with big news. Yes. You guys light up on that. Who wants to tell me what that means? Go ahead.
Well, it means that we are a small paper, but it's big news, that we want to get the information out in a big way. And as Jimmy was talking about the business part of it, you know, you look at the paper and you see full color and lots of pictures and so forth. But here's what we want you, the audience, and our readers to understand is everything we make on this paper goes back into the paper. We don't get a salary. The only way we're able to produce such a quality paper is to invest in it financially. So when advertisers are investing in our paper, they're investing in the paper.
And they need to pay their bills.
Absolutely. Yes, they need to pay their
give
bills.
away your business.
No, you can't.
Yes.
People have to understand it's a business too. You got to, keep the paper functioning so
Yes.
we can have something to look forward to each month.
Yeah. And the rates are great.
I don't know if you want
We
to call
have
your rates
great
out there.
rates.
Call you
know?
for rates, or you want to throw them out there right now in front of you?
Well, there are too many to actually list from memory. But if
page ad.
Yes.
that's a full page ad.
And it depends on how many times you run it. It starts at $210 and it goes down to $170.
Amazing.
That's a person who be with us for years. We'd like for them to get a better rate
Yes.
than they have when they first started.
That's the way it should be.
Yes.
The
The church director is 25.
$25 a month.
right.
And they got to get all the churches to.
Yeah.
and
You
that-
can't get that anywhere else.
And I even see people who have look like a business card
Yes.
size. They still got an opportunity to be in the paper for the business. Is that what you would
the
call
business
business
directory.
card,
yes.
It's
obituary
$25 a
section
month.
Huh?
The obituary section for board funeral home. A lot of people look forward for that because when people pass, they don't know they passed away.
Yes.
Oh, keep talking.
Yes.
Keep talking. I'm going to find it.
And board, they list all the.
It's a full page.
Yeah.
Boyd Funeral
Yeah.
Home.
Boyd has been with us since we started.
Okay,
the
you guys
paper
keep talking.
5
I'm going to
years
start holding
ago.
up some stuff. Keep talking. Talk about Boyd.
Yeah, she lists all of the clients that she has. So sometimes people have passed that you didn't know passed. And so people look forward to that as well. And she's one of the ones, along with Joe North and Quality Life Center and those people. Yeah, they've been with us from the very beginning. Yes.
When you first started going around, Mr. Miller Brooks, and letting people know that a new newspaper was going to be coming along, tell me about the response from people early on back 5 years ago.
See, they was delighted because we've had at least 5 different predominant black newspaper around this county. And yes, Talbot is one of the ones who comes with a full page every month.
Continue to talk about their response.
Okay.
This is just for my tech people.
They just be waiting. As Bodie mentioned to you earlier, they be waiting on the paper. And if that doesn't come on time, then they start calling me. They call Bodie. They call Veronica. They call Jack. They call Jackie at home all the time. Well, what's going to happen? And then Jackie goes over and beyond and put above on our website. Every month, our website is full of everything that's in the paper, and then she emphasized. And then some people say, well, did you see so-and-so on page for this month? But then she'll just, and don't let it be.
The Queen Zeta.
Don't let it be football.
Philadelphia Eagles, I think,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Well, we got to save some time for Jackie. This is a full show. And she looks like she got her hair together and everything. So Jackie, you gonna let me have some fun? All right. Well, I want to lead this historic interview. I'll be coming back in the future, of course, with complimenting you guys on just doing a fabulous job with the newspaper, making our community proud, making Fort Myers proud, making Southwest Florida proud, and setting an example for the next generation to come to say, we got role models who have done this. So keep up the good work, okay? All right, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like the fine staff from the Community Press newspaper who are doing it. When we come back, we'll talk to that famous photographer everybody's talking about, Jackie. We'll be right back. Southwest Florida, welcome back. I'm glad you stayed with us. We've been talking about Jackie for a while in this past interview with the fine staff from the Community Press newspaper. Shout out to Pablo, the layout man. Jackie Williams is here now, Jackie Matthews Williams. So without further ado, let's get a chance to meet her. Jackie, welcome to Lee Pitts Live.
Hi, Lee.
I know this is not your first time on the show. Let everybody know both of us are in the blue and white.
Yes, we're the Blue and White family, Zeta Pi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Incorporated, and congratulations on being selected as a Black Girl Who Rocks.
Yes.
See, I remember all that?
Yes.
All right.
Thanks.
What was that like to be selected as a Black Girl Who Rocks of Southwest Florida?
That was an event, and it just was awesome. It really was. It caught me by surprise. I was getting dressed when I got the phone call, and I was like, you mean me? And it just caught me off by myself for a second, but I enjoyed it.
And we have here Mr. James Millerbrook, the publisher and advertising director for the Community Press. Mr. Millerbrook, everybody knows you. You don't need that much of an introduction. But what I want to ask you is, how would you like to be known now that your baby, the Community Press, all of you want to be known as that math man or that publisher of the newspaper, or are they both equal?
They both equal. Yes.
Why is that?
And here's the reason. I have my mathematics skills is just wonderful. I can tell students why I chose math as opposed to any other career. I tell my daughter sometimes, Daddy, why did you like math so? I say, well, I didn't like British literature. And courses like some courses that I know I was going to make a C in, but I can go and take a chemistry course or a math course and make that A and make those two become B's then. Mm-hmm. So I say, math is my field that I enjoy, and kids and adults do not like math, they can come to the old man Middlebrooks and they will enjoy math after I talk with them. Because I can tell them how I built a house out of math, how I make money with my trophy companies when I had the trophy company, how I made money with the child care center, how we make, you did not know we had a restaurant on Martin Luther King Boulevard, what they called Anderson Avenue then. Mm-hmm. So we have had a chance to do all kind of things, but all of it just come down to mathematics. Mathematics.
Now,
yes.
How can people get in touch with you for all their math needs, and what types of needs do you feel in math?
Well, we have an article in the paper every month. If a person is having problems in the SAT, the ACT, the GED, you'll be surprised how many males do not have a high school diploma. So if they need some help in any of those, Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, we've been closed for 2 months now, but I do private tutoring right here at the office. But if they need some help, I will be happy to help them. I will make them a genius out of mathematics.
Speaking of, he said the paper, that's the Community Press paper he's talking about, the preeminent newspaper in Southwest Florida, my favorite newspaper. This is where I go to get my stories for Lee Pitts Live. Is it okay, Jack, if I steal you guys' stories and take them to television?
Oh, definitely. We share.
Jackie, we were talking, I don't know if you heard everything. Everybody was talking about how great your work is as a photographer and how you, get into the community and get these photos. But before we go into that, how did you, because this is like about 5 or 6 years ago, I started seeing you walking around with a camera. I don't know if I saw you with the camera prior to that. You just sort of got into photography, or you always dibbled and dabbled?
I've always dibbled and dabbled. I found a picture that I took when I was in, I think, high school. I took a course at the Franklin Institute. So I've always loved pictures. I always loved photography. But my job as working in marketing, you have to double up as a photographer for sometimes. So I learned what makes a good picture. And so I'm always listening to other photographers. If I see a photographer out there, I've got questions. I want to know. So I just absorb.
Okay. So the idea, the whole experience of being able to capture all these positive images in the community that in many cases others would never know existed unless you brought that art to the forefront. What does it do for you personally to know that you're documenting the history of our community in such a positive way?
Oh, that does great for my ego, because I love to see my pictures in print. I love to share my photos. A lot of photographers get mad at me because, you got your photos just out there. I says, why would I want to hoard my photos? I want everybody to have their photos. I want them to spread it and share it. So that's what I want to do. I just want to spread the love, spread the photos. Now,
you're the social media and photographer editor for the Community Press newspaper, but you also have Jackie's event photos?
Yes.
Go ahead.
People contact me for birthdays, anniversaries, retirement parties, weddings. I do mostly family photos. I was just at one before I got here down in Centennial Park. I am affordable, and I just want to make people happy. So many times people don't have photos of their loved ones, and one of the greatest honors I've had is to capture their last photos. I'll never forget one of the AK ladies. She was at a party on Saturday night. She passed away, and I captured her last photo.
Right.
So I've been in that predicament 3 or 4 times, and when people need their photos for their obituaries, I've had nice photos they could use. So
let's see what the Big Cheese has to say about you. What do you have to say about one Jackie Matthews Williams?
I'm so happy she's with the Community Press. I know there's other people out there who think they are gooder than Jackie, but there's no one. She knows what to do, how to do, when to do it. And whenever we need it, even sometime I call her late at night. Hey, Mr. McBride, what you want? I say, I need you to go so and so and so. And she said, okay, I'll take care of it. And then when she finished the picture, she sends it to Pablo, and then she will make a comment about it. And if Veronica has to correct anything on that part, not necessarily correct, but she will add more to it to make it feasible for the people that can read.
I love to see black folk working together like that.
Oh man, you can't.
Jackie, I'm holding up a picture now. This is one of my favorite covers. You didn't know that. Just the way the colors jump out when I first saw it, and the full body, and it just talk about this day and taking this picture and the magic that went into it.
We were down in Estero for the breast cancer walk, and those 2 ladies, I love them. And I was just taking their picture, and when I was going through the pictures later, certain pictures would jump out, and I know when it's a cover. And that was a picture, and I told Pablo my vision was to highlight the pink because pink is the breast cancer color. And he did exactly that, and it came out fabulous. We've gone to like the big picture on the front. So we're all about improving the paper and making it bigger and better, and people are loving it.
You mentioned, before we go away from that, how can people get in touch with you for Jackie's event photo?
I'm on Facebook, Jackie's Event Photos, and that's JACQUIE. You can call me at 239-222-2073.
The pictures, they always tell these magnificent stories just when people look at them. Like when I look at your pictures, do you try to get in motion pictures, people in normal, or are you okay with posing as well? I know a lot of times you don't seem to want me to pose when you come around, but so do you have a preference there?
I love the impromptu pictures.
Right,
I
right.
love the spur of the moment pictures. And people say, "Oh, I don't like those. Those make the best pictures, especially in a moment of surprise." And when I'm at events, I'm trying to think ahead because I'm trying to. Are they going to do this? If I see someone coming in, I'm like, "Oh, I know they're going to hug, and I got to get there and get that shot."
And even when they're on the stages giving out awards, I just see you just be on the move. So it's a lot of concentration goes into that,
Oh,
right?
yes.
People just think it's just hanging around. Mr. Middlebrooks, D, you talked about Jackie in the photo. Let's mention Pablo in a little bit more detail. What does Pablo does for the newspaper? He's not here right now.
You can take any story. Pablo is also a good writer. He can take that story, just like Jackie just said, and you can take the emotion of that particular story, and he can put that in writing for you. And then he can take the background of that same picture and see something that someone else doesn't see. And then he put all those things together, and then it presents a story that you say, "Oh my God, did I see that?" No, some of you don't see that because you don't understand the background of that person. You don't see what they're thinking about. And then when Pablo and Jackie get together with a picture, and then the story is told, my goodness.
And one of the things, Jackie, I try to tell people all the time, taking a picture with a real camera is totally different from a cell phone picture.
Oh, yes.
Now, I'm glad I got somebody here who understands visual. I can see Veronica shaking her head too. You have a state-of-the-art camera that you can't replace that with a cell phone. Go.
Correct. I have used a Canon, and this is my second Canon. I've even upgraded and got a better camera. It's been a year June. So yes, the bigger cameras take a better picture, and you can do a whole lot more with the Canon or a Nikon or Olympus, those bigger cameras.
Now, as we move into this show is airing now, we are just past 4th of July. We're going to slowly move it over to the fall. We don't really know what the school district is going to do. We don't really know what's going on. But just in general, as the summer starts to go back into school, Mr. Middlebrooks, people can expect what as we close out the year 2020 from the Community Press newspaper?
You can expect the ultimate goal that we are looking for. We are looking for stories that happens that normally doesn't happen in this area. And we want to emphasize everything positive about that particular issue. And we will not go to sleep until we got that's right. We will go to the nth degree to make sure we have it right and make sure the wording, the spelling is correct. We make sure every little, because you know what? Some people will take our stories and they go letter by letter by letter, just to be sure that we have made an error. We don't want to make those errors.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, and I guess it's good in a way as well. Jackie, when you're seeing images flashing before us now, like concerts downtown, different events happening in the churches, community events throughout the community. This summer, we didn't get a chance to have as many outdoor events like Community Fun Day and things of that nature. How did the community press continue to document what was going on, even though we were in a pandemic state?
There was a couple of events that I did. Joe North did a feeding, so you had to
Chef Michelle.
You had to adjust to the situation. So if the Deltas was having a feeding at Lee Health, I was there. Joe North did the feeding at Chef Michelle's restaurant. I was there. So you have to change and adapt to whatever is going on. So we were in that mode, and that's what I did.
And I think you're doing something with the graduates from high school graduates or graduation?
Yes, we're highlighting the graduates, high school and college graduates in the June issue.
Go ahead.
And also in this next issue, we also meaning that the school system will be feeding every day, Monday through Fridays. So we want the people to know that those kids will be helped all during the summer. They can go and get a meal from the school system. That is very important. And the fact that we have a medium, a newspaper, that people can look in and get this information. We don't really have like a radio show well, we do have a radio show, we do have a television show, but we don't have anything like we could pick up in the salon, take our time, read through it,
pick it up from the store. I hate to say this, but sometimes I'm reading the community press while I'm driving. People, I'm just glancing at the pictures. I'm still safe, but I got to hurry up and get through and see what I'm looking at, you know? So I usually get my community press at this gas station up here by the flea market. I don't know the name of it, but you know where I'm talking about. Talk about all those different locations and how that is so important that people can get it conveniently, Jackie.
Well, like we do the churches. That's our biggest population is at the churches. And we have restaurants, we have gas stations, we have real estate offices. We are everywhere. We truly try to, people can call us and say, can you be a delivery spot? And so we'll add them to the list. And, you know, we have a distribution manager, Bodie.
Right.
He's on it. He really is. So just getting it out there at people, make it easy for them to get the paper is key. And then we also try to update, because we are once a month, I try to follow up on Facebook. So when we know something, we try to post it so you don't have to wait till the next month. You know, especially with this feeding, people know what schools and what times. We're going to have that on Facebook. So when things arise in the community that need immediate attention, you can always go to our Facebook page.
There you go. And that would be the community press on Facebook?
Yes.
Right. And Mr. Middlebrooks, when are you going to say something on Facebook? I see you there. You just look at it, going to say something one day?
Yeah.
Or you talk to certain people? You don't ever talk to me, bro, with their problem.
You know, in the paper on the second page,
Okay.
we have all the locations on where Bodie again, where Bodie drops off there. But now if something comes up right away, then you can go to our we can go to our website and also to Facebook. Now I have to say this about everybody that's a part of the community press. When something happens and we are not able to put it in the paper for right then, Jackie, they picks it up and right there. And then, you know, we have had so many hits on a picture that's thrown out there on Facebook. I look at it sometime and I say, now, there's one, there's two.
You counting the hits,
Yeah.
the views, I think you said.
Okay.
Likes.
Yeah.
Okay, remember the Middlebrooks, it's called likes.
I say, now, oh, that's 175 now. It just was put on there about 2 minutes ago. And then now it's 355. I say, my good people be waiting not only for the paper, but they're also waiting for us to make sure we follow up with some of the things that we was not able to put in the paper.
Our last year's graduate section got over 15,000 likes.
That last year, okay, so we're coming back this year. So what does that say about the marriage of newspaper and social media? It's a good marriage?
Oh, it's an excellent marriage. They get along really good.
Before we go, Jackie, I still see this show. I'll be back here to tape some more shows here at the Community Press, but here in the physical building. But I see this show right here as a historic documenting show at the 5-year mark, and we have sitting next to you the publisher of the Community Press newspaper. I should have gotten this in with Veronica and Bodie as well. But let's say something about Mr. Middlebrooks. He just be modest, Mr. Middlebrooks.
Mr. Middlebrooks is really one of a kind. He is so good to work for, and he gives you the freedom to do what you do. He gives you a lane, and he just gives you. He said go, and you just go. He doesn't micromanage. He is awesome. He tried to give us the tools that we need to be successful. He's encouraging. Some days I'm having a bad day, and to get his phone call, hey, baby cakes. I perk right up and I feel so much better. So me and my husband talk about Mr. Middlebrooks all the time, and his wife is just like he is. Mm-hmm. They are wonderful. So
great role models.
Great role model. Veronica, when I send her something, like I'm just tired, I can't think of anything to write, and I send her an email, and my email says, make pretty, and she makes it pretty.
Yes.
And then Pablo says I'm his second wife. We are fussing. He doesn't want to do this, and I'm hitting him with the wet noodle. You got to do it. And then when the paper comes out, he has to admit that he was wrong. So me and Veronica tag team him, and we are a good family. We really are. We love one another, and so we just want to thank Mr. Middlebrooks for investing and starting this paper, bringing us on. We are all equals. He's not the big man, and we the little people. We're all the same in this organization.
And it's so beautiful. People who are watching this show this Sunday morning are sitting there Yes, it's black owned and operated, and it's top of the notch, top of the line. Mr. Middlebrook, let's give you an opportunity on my show to say something about that purple and gold. The blue and white jacket. We're going to give a little something.
Okay.
Me and Jackie blue and white. But just the Omegas have been, the health forum, all those types of things that the Omega Psi-Phi is engaging.
The health forum comes in every September, the last Friday of each month, each year. So we are working on the health forum now. That's one of our biggest. This
is one of the great times to have it too, for people can get their tests.
And you'll be surprised how many males. That's why we include the females to bring you guys there, because y'all don't ever want to go to see a doctor or nothing. So we have to make sure we bring the females. Sometimes I cheat and I call the wife. I say, well, you get that man on out here before we because we are known for being diabetic. We are known for prostate. We are known for certain things that we don't take care of ourselves. So we have to get the female involved to make you sure you're going to be around him for a little while longer.
And we've heard this for quite a bit of time recently, underlying conditions, Jackie. And what the Omega Psi-Phi Health Forum does is gives us an opportunity to know if we have those underlying conditions, and then we can manage those properly. I know when I started doing the show with the Omega Health Forum, say 20 years, 15 years ago,
yes.
I started getting things like my prostate screen, getting my colonoscopy.
Yes.
Did I pronounce that right?
Colonoscopy.
My wife always said I screwed that up. But so continue on with the great work. Also, Omega Psi-Phi has a talent. Go to that.
Yeah. We have a talent hunt. It's for high schoolers. And the amazing thing about that, they can go to different levels. They take the local level first, and then we go to the state, then we go to the district, and then we go to the national. And the person that wins the national gets a full scholarship to they go to any black college they want to go to.
And we send good talent each year. We got some talent down here.
Yes, all the time. And you'll be amazed from the local to the state how good the state. But when you pass the state, my goodness, it's unbelievable. We have a lot of young people, and this is only for high school students. We need to get one for college students too.
Okay. We're getting that in. There's some bonus coverage on Lee Pitts Live. Let's go to you, Jackie, before we wrap it up. Let's talk about Zeta Phi Beta sorority, your passion. Well, let me see, Great Gatsby.
Finer Woman Luncheon.
Right. Sir Debonair.
Right.
Let's talk about a couple of what you're most proud of Zeta Phi Beta, my sorority sisters events that you put on each year.
We're a little chapter, but we're all about the sisterly love. And I love working with those ladies. I've formed some friendships and some sister relationships. I'm just very happy that I joined. I'm so happy that I'm a member. We're going to be doing great things in the 2021 year. A lot of things we were planning for this year got postponed.
Right.
So the Finer Woman Lunch is going to be on. The Sir Debonair is going to be on. We're going to have a couple fundraisers. So we're going to have a very exciting year.
Greater Electric something on Facebook. Electrifying Women.
Yes.
Go ahead. Say that for me.
The Electrifying Ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority.
On Facebook.
Eta Alpha Zeta. Sorry. You got me confused there, Lee. It's Electrifying of Eta Alpha Zeta.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have a special edition of Lee Pitts Live at the Community Press newspaper right here on Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard in the Dunbar community in Fort Myers, Florida. The little paper with the big news, and they're certainly changing what we see in the newspaper from henceforth and forever. I'm just so thrilled that you guys welcome Lee Pitts Live in here for a day.
Thank you so kindly for coming out with us, Lee.
Much appreciated. We'll see you.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.
Hello, Southwest Florida. Thanks for watching Lee Pitts Live. Of course, I'm Lee Pitts. I hope you enjoy that particular show, but you can always catch us here on YouTube. Just click on the subscribe button down there. That way you can get your Lee Pitts Live on demand when you want it and how you want it. We also encourage you to watch our show on Fox 4 and connect with us on all our social media platforms. Just type in Lee Pitts Live.